Hi. Let's talk about the seduction of overanalyzing things, or mainly actually ourselves. I'm sure this is not a problem for everyone, but I think people who, like me, for example, who are deep thinkers and maybe more on the introverted side, could be more prone to this. I sometimes wonder whether this energy of overanalyzing things is sometimes misdirected, where this energy could be good for studying something, a new language, for example, or putting this thing towards our business or something like that. So overanalyzing often, at least for me, happens in relation to myself. So it's this overanalyzing of what's wrong with me and how I could be better. And instead of doing the things that are needed, for example, to become more visible, we can get trapped into this overanalyzing mode of why we are not becoming visible, and what the reasons are, and so on and so forth. And even though I think maybe to a certain extent that might be helpful, but if it is so pronounced that it is more like a safety mechanism, because it, as long as we think about it and try to analyze it, we don't have to do anything. It's kind of like we don't have to move forward. But at the same time, I do believe we need to be compassionate with it, because I think it has a reason. It's there to protect us. And often it might also come from that we might have a history of having been criticized a lot or having been put down. And so I fear this inner overanalyzing voice, which can team up with the inner critic or the inner doubter, is somehow trying to get ahead of what we think might be coming our way. So we want to, it's like a hidden perfectionism in a weird kind of way, because so let's figure out what's wrong with us and go deep and then do more self-improvement courses or whatever it is, so that we are completely and utterly prepared once we put ourselves out there. The thing is, I think that the problem with that narrative is there will be always still something that has to be figured out. There will be always still something that's not good enough or that's still wrong with us. So I think it's a never-ending story then that really can keep us in hiding. And I also think it's if we grew up this way, that we got criticized a lot, and that people were maybe telling us all of the time where we should improve or where we should become better, then maybe it's something we might confuse with love as well. And it might be just something that, even though it's not good for us, it feels very safe and we know it, versus really taking small steps towards being more out there and showing up with our talents, as imperfect as we are, with all our fears, with everything that might be much more scary. And I would like to say, being visible, at least for me, means we show up as our imperfect, real, quirky, unique selves. That's what it is for me. And I will make another video about where I want to go a little bit more into depth of the whole, what it actually means, what visibility actually really means, because it's not this. It's not to be confused with fame, not at all. anyways, before I'm seduced now into going into the whole visibility thing more, because I want to go deeper into this, I just want to circle back that the overanalyzing is one part that keeps us in hiding mode. Because instead of finding the next little gentle step, which might be just maybe telling a friend an honest but kind opinion we've been holding back, that's becoming more visible. It might be, it doesn't have to be making a video. There are so many steps we could be taking, but it is about action, whereas the overanalyzing is really something, it's a lot of, like when I do it, it's a lot of energy. It sometimes feels like it's very close to anxiety as well, and it can get a life of its own. And it's kind of learning to because the doing is more the body, isn't it? So to find ways to get out of the body, out of the head into the body. That's what it is about. And to use this beautiful ability we have, the deep thinking, looking at complex issues from different sides, to use it wisely for those things, but not to use this when it's turned against, it's like turned against ourselves, you know, and that's a lot of energy that can be very exhausting, where we spend our days just trying to figure out what's wrong with us. And I think maybe I would like to conclude with that we are good enough as we are, right here, right now, with all our faults and our strengths. And I would love to hear from you whether overanalyzing is one of your strategies, or whether you are acquainted with it, or whether you have an issue with it, and how it plays out for you. I would love to hear from you. This was Anja Kersten, life coach and artist. Take good care. Bye-bye.